Hello, everyone. My guest today is Gleb Budman. He's the co-founder and CEO of a company called Backblaze, which he and his team grew to 20 million in revenue and profitability while building one of the largest and most cost-efficient cloud storage systems on the planet. Previously, Gleb led two product teams from pre-funding through acquisition and founded three companies. Gleb, are you ready to take us to the top?
You bet.
All right. Tell us about Backblaze. So what's the company do and how do you make money?
So what we do is we provide cloud storage, and that obviously means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. What we started doing was very, very simple. We just backed up your laptop or desktop over the internet. It was $5 a month. It's unlimited backup. We back up all the data on your computer. We back up your external hard drives. And the key thing there was to make it easy.
Uh-huh.
So what we found was that even though backup options have existed forever, when we asked our friends and our family and our coworkers, what do you do for backup? The general answer was, well, pray. So people are just constantly losing data, and it's this painful process when they lose their photos or their tax documents or their business files. So we started with this. You enter an email address, a password, you click install, that's it, you're done. We back up everything. You never have to worry about it. And then if you need your data back, you can either download it, you can access it on your mobile device, or we'll actually FedEx you a hard drive with all of your data on it anywhere in the world. And then if you get that hard drive back to us, it was free to do.
Oh, very cool. Okay, and what's the pricing model? Is it pure play SaaS?
It's pure play SaaS. It's $5 a month, $50 a year, 95 for 2 years. And so that's what we do for both consumers and businesses. We back up laptops and desktops. And then to do that, we had to build all of our own cloud storage. And so people kept asking us for other things for storage. And so we actually introduced an offering where you can use storage for anything, similar to an Amazon or Google or a Microsoft offering, but 1/4 of their price point.
Okay. And you said go ahead.
Yeah, so you can use that for all sorts of things. You can host your applications. You can upload media to stream. You can back up and sync your NAS devices, your Synology boxes, all sorts of things.
And you've said you've scaled it up to 20 million in ARR. Is that accurate today?
Yeah, it's actually 30 million ARR today.
Oh,
so
great.
We're growing quick.
Very good. So 30 million a day, that's about 2.5 million per month. And where were you about a year ago?
So we closed last year at 20 million in revenue.
Okay, got it. So 2017 growth rate was about 60, 70%?
We're growing about 50% year on year.
Yeah, 50% year over year. That's great. So walk me through more of like the growth strategy, and let's start from the beginning. When did you launch the company?
We launched the company 10 plus years ago in 2007.
2007. And where were you at that point? I mean, were you like a broke college student and needed to do something, so you jumped into this, or what were you doing before that?
No, so 5 of us started Backblaze together. We all have actually worked together for about 20 years. So we did a company back in 99 during the first .com boom. It was a traditional venture funded company. We built it. It was bought by Excited Home at the time. We worked there. Then we did another.
Did that deal make you guys rich, or no? It was a bad 99 collapse kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a great deal. We started and built this company. There were some other people that were original founders there. In 9 months from the first round, the company got acquired for 120 million. So
how much have you raised?
7. So it's actually a great, quick build. And
I have to ask this because it was 99. Were you post revenue or pre revenue?
Revenue? What's revenue?
You didn't have any revenue?
No revenue, no customers.
Unbelievable.
Hadn't launched yet. So built a good team, built some good products, and bought for a large chunk of change. Now, the problem was that Excited Home, even though they were a public company, ended up going out of business. Most of us had shares in Excited Home.
Most of that deal was a stock deal?
Yeah.
I see.
Some people made money off it. Some people made nothing off it. But that was the first company. Then we did another company called Mail Frontier, which was an email security company, which was, again, it was a traditional venture fund company, went through 4 rounds of funding.
How much total raised?
23.5. And so that company was acquired in 2006. We worked at the acquired company for about a year, and then the 5 of us decided to start Backblaze, we did this one differently. So
hold on, before we get into Backblaze, what was the sale price in '06?
About 30 mil.
Okay, so as that one was about flat, assuming one exploitation preference. That one you guys made some money, but not fly around in a private jet money.
Definitely no private jet.
All right, so Backblaze is your jet money. That's what we're building today.
So we decided to do Backblaze differently. We, instead of raising funding from the beginning, 5 of us actually quit our jobs. We committed to each other for 1 year, no salary, put a little bit of money into the company. And
what's a little bit? How much?
It was a couple $100K total between all of us.
Okay.
So really not a lot. And the idea was that if you try to raise funding from the very beginning, one is you end up giving away a lot of the company. You spend a ton of time trying to raise funding. You end up giving away control as well as dilution. And you start building a culture which ties yourself to raising funding all the time.
Yep.
And what we really wanted to do was build a culture where people all felt like we need to build a business where each customer matters, revenue from customer matters, margin matters, and it's a real business. And
so what have you raised to date? Still bootstrapped?
Mostly. So we've raised a total of $3 million.
Okay, that's fair. And so you're trying really hard to hold out, but something gave way. You had to raise a couple million. When was that? What year and why'd you raise?
So we went for 1 year with no salary, put a little bit of money in, no raise. And then we decided that every half year we would meet as a management team and talk about whether we should raise. Our business is very capital intensive. We have to buy storage servers and hard drives for all of our customer data. And at this point, we are storing about half as much data as Dropbox. So it's a huge amount of infrastructure. And so we have to pay for that somehow. And so we raised a small $350K round in 2009 from friend and family angel type people, including the co-founder of VMware, the head of AdWords engineering at Google, some other friends and family. And that was the only funding for the first 5 years of the company. In 2012, we decided to raise around, we took $2.5 million into the company and from a company called TMT Investments. And the reasons we did that were a couple-fold. One was that at that point, the company was doing millions in revenue, had a lot of customers that depended on us, and we were still operating in much of the same way that we had originally, which is spending every single dollar that came in on either servers or salaries. And so we had no money in the bank account at any given time. And the thing that came closest to putting us out of business in all 10 years was actually a flood in Thailand, which was not anywhere on anyone's radar screen.
So what happened?
So what happened was it turns out that half of the world's hard drives were made in Thailand. And when that flood hit, all of a sudden, the global supply of hard drives dried up. It became very, very expensive to buy hard drives. And so all of a sudden, we're buying 1,000 drives a month, and our price doubles.
What was the price of a hard drive before the flood?
So call it $200.
And after 400?
Yeah. So you're looking at spending an extra $200,000 a month in cash to support the business.
So you're buying 1,000.
We're buying about 1,000, yeah. And so it's a lot of money all of a sudden to come up with, and we just felt like we were running it a little too close to the amount. So we wanted to raise a little bit of money to put some money on the balance sheet. We also wanted to try to run some marketing experiments. We had grown completely organically up until that point.
What's your CAC today? What are you spending to acquire customers?
So it depends on the product line, but in rough numbers, we'll spend about somewhere between 6 and 12 months worth of revenue to acquire a customer.
Okay, so if it's $5 a month, you're spending, call it anywhere up to maybe $60 to acquire them.
If it's a computer backup customer, yeah.
Okay, got it. And a cheaper customer might be, Oh, okay. Wait, I guess 5 times. Yeah. I mean, so if it's 6 months, obviously it's $30. That's you're talking about your lower ARPU customers.
Yeah, and on the B2 side, the cloud storage side, that one is completely usage dependent. So some people, so you can use the B2 for free. We'll give you 10 gigabytes. You can just use it for free as long as you want. And so for that service, it scales. Some people use it for free, and some people will pay us $100,000 a year.
And what's the customer count today? How many?
They're about 500,000.
Yeah, 500,000 times $5 is about 2.5 million a month, or 30 million in ARR. That's where you get that.
In rough numbers, yep.
Tell me about churn.
So in general, you probably know this, but consumers in general on SaaS services tend to trend the highest, and businesses churn at a much lower rate, and larger businesses churn at an even lower rate. Our consumers churn at only about 10% a year.
Which is gross logo churn?
Gross individual customer churn.
But you're not adding up the revenue. That's just logos. It's a number of logos, not dollars.
Exactly. And so revenue on the business backup side is actually increases, doesn't not decrease. So we make more money from customers that add more licenses than we churn from.
Yeah. So what's net revenue retention across your entire base each year? It's over 100.
I don't actually have that at my fingertips because we kind of do different things for different product lines.
But it's over 100.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And then in terms of, obviously you talked about payback period and kind of your propensity there. Lifetime value is always tricky. Do you use lifetime value at all to guide your decision making?
So we do for the business computer backup, consumer computer backup side of things. So in rough numbers, a consumer is worth about $400 in lifetime revenue to us. And on the business side, it just depends how many licenses they sign up or how much storage they decide to purchase from us.
Yep, makes sense. Let's wrap up here. Some team questions. How many folks on the team today?
They're about 70.
70. And where's everybody based?
People are based mostly in headquarters in San Mateo, California, though we have a number of people near our data centers out in Sacramento and in Phoenix, Arizona. And then we have a smattering around other places.
I actually want to ask one last question because I think it's important. You guys put off raising any significant capital for as long as you possibly could, which ideally should have given you leverage in terms of, getting less dilution when you did raise. Are you comfortable sharing when you raised that 2.5, what valuation you were able to raise at back, I guess it was in 2012?
So in 2012, it was about a 25 million valuation.
Pre or post?
I think that was pre.
Okay, so pre-money. Then
I remember slightly fuzzy at this moment.
That's okay. So 25 pre, 27.5 post, 2.5 million raised. Look, that's really healthy, right? So you're only selling 10% of the company. That's not a ton. Although you have 5 people, so you're already kind of diluted. But it sounds like it's a rock star team.
Yeah, it's a great team, and every single person that started with us 10 years ago is still here today. So
that's amazing.
It's been a good group.
All right, Gleb, let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
So one that I really liked that I recently read was called 5 Dysfunctions of a Team.
Yep, that's a good one. Red cover, a good one. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
There is a CEO that I'm a huge fan of. His name is Tim Eads. He's not famous. He doesn't write business books or anything, but he's an amazing CEO.
CEO of which company?
So he's done a few. His current one is vArmor.
vArmor, very good. Number 3, is there a favorite online tool that you have for building your business?
Favorite online tool for building the business? I have to say that Google Sheets.
Okay. Revolutionary stuff here, Gleb. Thanks for that answer. All right. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
I actually sleep okay. I get about 7.5 hours of sleep. My wife's actually incredibly helpful in allowing that to happen.
So married and how many kids?
2.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 44.
44. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
My 20-year-old self, what I really wish that I knew was to be more conscientious about both about friends and coworkers. So I'm generally a friendly person. And if people are friendly, I'm friendly with them. But I wish that I had been more specific about the people that I really liked and that felt like they were just great people more consciously investing in those relationships.
Guys, there you have it. Invest more in those relationships that matter. They're doing $30 million today, growing about 50% year over year. They were doing about 20 million just about 13, 14, 15 months ago, but it wasn't always easy. The company was launched back in 2007 with a $5 plan to help you back up everything you've got in the cloud. They have now 500,000 paying customers paying $5 a month. There's a big flood in Taiwan in Thailand in 2012 that doubled the cost of the product that they were buying from $200 up to $400. So they said, you know what, we can't operate on a margin anymore. We've got to raise some money. They've raised $3 million. So pretty capital efficient. Economics are healthy, 10% gross logo churn annually, over 100% net revenue retention with their team of 70 people based mainly in San Mateo. Gleb, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thanks a lot. Good chatting with you.